Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mag's Frags, where it's the fragrance that's the star of the show. I'm Paul, and today I'm going to be diving into a collection that was completely off my radar until a subscriber to the channel recently put me onto it. So a huge shout out to Matt for introducing me to this one. It's the Iconic collection by Rituals. If you're not familiar with Rituals, it's a luxury high street cosmetics brand known for their bath and body products, but they've also created an impressive fragrance range. The Iconic collection features 6 masculine-leaning fragrances, all beautifully presented with these dark wooden caps that just give them a sleek, premium feel. There's also 6 feminine-leaning ones that you can tell the difference between them and the masculine ones by their lighter wooden caps. Today, though, we're all about the dark caps and the masculine energy of this collection. They come in an eau de parfum concentration, and each one is available in 2 sizes, a 50ml bottle priced at £52.90 and a 15ml travel size bottle at £18.90. They come in a rigid presentation box in lots of different patterns and colourways, and the bottles look really expensive in these square chunky glass designs with the wooden caps and the gold coloured plaques on the front. However, I have actually lost a couple of these gold plaques and they've fallen off on me, and I've had to kind of stick them back on with a little bit of glue. But on the whole, they do feel really premium when you're handling them. So without further ado, let's break them down and see if the scents inside are as iconic as what the name suggests. Okay, so first up is this one, and it's pronounced Bois d'Orient in French, even though it's spelt R-O-I d'Orient. And I've probably just butchered the name actually, but this translates to King of the Orient. And this is an Oriental amber fragrance, and it opens up with, as you'd expect, plenty of sweet resinous and slightly smoky amber, but it's really softened by a rich musk and a sprinkling of white pepper. It gives off a similar type scent aroma as what you get in the likes of Dior Homme or Prada L'Homme, etc. And you get like a dry, powdery iris note that just blends really well with a really sweet background layer. You do get a very mild hint of spiciness and a very subtle smoky accent too that's way off in the background. But you really need to kind of search for those 2 notes because the sweet muskiness is definitely the dominant characteristic in this one. It's a really well-crafted scent that delivers warmth, sophistication, and an air of luxurious mystery about it. This scent is perfect for cooler weather or evening wear with a smooth, elegant vibe that really works well for both casual and formal settings. It's not overpowering in any way, but just leaves a noticeable scent trail, making it a great choice if you like fragrances that feel both bold and sophisticated, and it just makes a statement without being too overpowering. It's a warm, comforting aroma that has a relaxed and elegant quality about it, and it's just like wrapping yourself up in your favourite cashmere scarf. In terms of its performance, this is excellent, and it's got a really good staying power, and it leaves a soft but yet noticeable scent trail. It's the kind of fragrance that just lingers in the air, just enough to make people curious about what it is. But like I say, it's not overwhelming in any way, and you won't need to worry about choking anyone out with this one. It lasts for maybe 6 to 7 hours, which is, for a high street brand, is more than adequate. And whether you're wearing it casually or for like a special occasion, this scent just radiates confidence. It's really elegant, and it's got a really huge timeless appeal. So if you're a fan of sweet, musky fragrances with a hint of spice, this is definitely worth checking out the next time you pass in a Rituals store. Okay, so the second one today that I'm going to talk about is called L'Essentiel. And this one is a warm, woody and spicy scent that's great for the cooler months of the year. It opens with a cardamom note that's quite bright, slightly herbal, and has a mild spiciness to it. This is supported by patchouli, which is usually a note that I'm quite cautious of because it can come off quite dark and dirty sometimes and give off maybe like a damp soil-like earthiness in some vintage fragrances. But in this one, it's actually really pleasant, and it produces a warm spiciness which just complements the cardamom perfectly. In the base, there's some sandalwood, which is velvety smooth and just wraps around those spicier green notes and brings a really versatile and mass-appealing aroma that would be perfect to wear as like a daily scent for weekdays or for casual weekends. It's an energetic, mood-boosting type scent profile with an elegant masculinity that's super easy to wear. I wouldn't say there's anything crazy unique in this one, and there's nothing that's really jumping out at me and giving me a massive wow factor, but it's a solid, spicy, woody, masculine scent that smells great and will definitely pull in plenty of compliments. In terms of performance, this is definitely not a powerhouse all-day type scent, and it does sit a little bit closer to the skin, and it's quite strong when you first spray, but after that, about maybe first 15 or 20 minutes or so, it really settles down to being more of a gentle, soft, clean aroma that lasts maybe 4 or 5 hours at best. So not for anyone who wants to command loads of attention and fill a room with their sillage. But yes, on the whole, a really nice, spicy, woody one that's versatile and inoffensive, but perhaps a touch more generic than some of the others in this collection. Okay, so next up we have this one, which goes by the name of Bleu Byzantin, or Byzantin if you're from Yorkshire like me. And when I first bought these, my mate Carl, who's been on the channel a couple of times now, particularly enjoyed this one and thought it was actually one of the standout ones in this collection. This is a super fresh green woody aromatic scent that opens with water mint, which, as you can imagine, produces a big blast of aquatic, invigorating freshness right off the bat. In the heart there's juniper berries, and with a base of pine tree accord, you can probably imagine that it's got a really cool, fresh, slightly green and uplifting character that's perfect for the spring and summer months, or one just to wear as maybe like a gym scent. It feels cool and invigorating, like stepping into a shaded forest stream on a hot sunny day. It's not overly sweet or sharp, just pure clean refreshment inspired by a Mediterranean coastal breeze. As it dries down, the heart and the base notes balance the fragrance beautifully, providing a crisp green sharpness that's reminiscent of like a gin and tonic on a sunlit terrace. It feels really sophisticated yet effortless, but it does stay quite clean and bright all the way through its lifespan, which makes it extremely versatile and ideal for casual or semi-formal settings. The performance on this is decent for a freshie, and its bright, sharp and fresh scent profile does definitely cut through the air. But again, don't expect too much in terms of longevity out of this, and you're going to probably get about 5 or 6 hours out of it before you can no longer detect it on yourself. This is a superb scent for those who just want something light and refreshing, just to wear as an everyday scent that just feels like a crisp Mediterranean breeze. Okay, so the fourth one today was a real love at first sniff for me, and pretty much the reason why I chose to pick these up in the first place and feature them on the channel. This one is called Bois Royal, which is a new 2024 addition to the collection, and it's an absolute beauty in my opinion. Right from the very first spray, it smells like an effortlessly luxurious fragrance with a smooth, refined sweetness that just wraps you in a comforting embrace. The top notes in this are mandarin orange, orange and nutmeg. In the heart, we've got juniper, orris and sage. And the base notes in this one are tonka beans, vanilla, leather and patchouli. Yeah, so this one opens with a bright and zesty burst of mandarin orange and also a normal orange. This is softened by a touch of nutmeg, and the citrus spice combination feels perfectly balanced with a vibrant yet warm introduction. As it settles, the heart reveals juniper, orris and sage, and the juniper just adds a fresh pine-like accent that just contrasts beautifully with the powdery orris and the herbal sage. Together, these notes create a complex textured middle layer and just adds an airy floral aspect to the composition. But this is all about the base notes, and this is where it truly shines in my opinion. We've got tonka beans and the vanilla which dominate, bringing a rich creamy sweetness that's soft and enveloping. We've got some leather and patchouli which anchor the fragrance, adding a bit of depth and a subtle earthiness that just keeps the sweetness from becoming overly cloying. The leather is more like a brushed dusty suede, and it just integrates seamlessly into the blend, and it reminds me of like a Penhaligon's fragrance, but I just can't quite put my finger on which one exactly. I think it's, I know for a fact it's not, definitely not Alfetti or Cairo or anything like that, but I think it might be the omniscient Mr. Thompson that I reviewed a little while back. But it definitely reminds me of an expensive Penhaligon scent, that's for sure. But overall, Bois Royal is a masterfully blended fragrance that combines freshness, warmth and sweetness in a way that feels both comforting and sophisticated. It's versatile enough for day or evening wear and perfect for cooler weather when you just want something cosy yet elegant. For those who appreciate high quality, well-rounded scents with a touch of sweetness, this is definitely a must-try. The performance is decent enough with a moderate projection, and you also get maybe 6 to 7 hours of longevity out of it. So if you're passing a ritual store in the near future, it's definitely worth popping in just to get your nose on this one, because in my opinion, it's a little beauty. Okay, so just a couple more to go now, and this next one is another new 2024 release. And this one is called Voyage d'Ombre, which is another really interesting oriental floral ambery fragrance, but goes off in a totally different direction to the Bois d'Orient one that I spoke about first in this review. The top notes in this one are pear, bergamot and violet. In the heart we've got lavender and sage, and in the base we've got olibanum and ambrette. Okay, so Voyage d'Ombre starts with a crisp, refreshing mix of juicy pear and zesty bergamot. It's bright and energising with just the right balance of sweetness and citrus. The violet adds a soft floral touch, making it smooth and classy. It's fresh but kind of still feels polished and perfect for starting your day on the right note. As it settles down, the scent shifts to a mix of lavender and sage, and these two notes bring an herbal, calming vibe that's really clean and airy, but not boring in any way because there's lots of other stuff going on from the more resinous notes that are surrounding them. There's a fairly large dose of smokiness and also an ambery resinous quality, and I'm getting kind of a Middle Eastern vibe from it, similar to something like Oud for Greatness or something like that, but it does have its own unique character. It's the most complex one in the collection in my opinion, and it smells mysterious and sophisticated. The middle phase is where the fragrance shines in my opinion, and overall it's kind of a relaxed yet full of character kind of scent profile. The dry down is warm and comforting thanks to olibanum, or frankincense as it's known, and ambrette, and these notes add a musky, slightly sweet finish that just feels really cosy and sensual. This one is a really good performer, and even though the projection is moderate, maybe like an arm's length or so, it's the kind of scent that really sticks around for hours and leaves a nice, subtle but memorable impression. But like I say, it is one of the more subjective ones in the collection. It may be just a little bit too dark and rich for some of you fellas out there, so it's definitely a try before you buy type scent, but I really like it, and it smells like you're wearing an expensive £200 niche scent. Okay, so just before I introduce the last one in the collection, I just want to mention this one, which is now gone discontinued, but you can still pick it up at some outlet stores, and it's called Nuit de Hasard. And this has notes of blackcurrant and ginger up top. We've got sage and geranium in the heart, and base notes of woody notes and vetiver. This one is an absolutely stunning, clean, blue shower gel-like scent that gives off a strong Dior Sauvage vibes in my opinion. So it's super versatile and masculine, and to be honest, God only knows why it's been discontinued, because it's a great all-rounder and it makes for a superb signature scent. So if you can find this one, if you're ever at one of the Rituals outlet stores, or if you can find it somewhere else, then it's definitely worth picking up a bottle. Okay, so the final one today is called Maharaja d'Or. And with a name like that and the colour of the bottle, I would have guessed that it was inspired by some Middle Eastern influences and contained dark, strong, rich notes like leather, saffron, rose and agar wood, etc. But this is actually quite a bright, fresh fragrance and contains notes of cardamom, pine wood and patchouli, so you get more of an airy, slightly green and earthy scent profile with a hint of spiciness that kind of took me by surprise, if I'm honest, when I first smelled it. I honestly expected more of a dense, sweeter aroma, but it's nothing of the sort, opening with a clean and cheerful character. There is a little bit of sweetness in the opening, combined with a bit of a green freshness and a touch of spiciness from the cardamom. The pine wood brings kind of a clean pencil shavings type woodiness, but to me the overall aroma gives off like a generic shower gel type vibe, and if I'm honest, I find it a little bit underwhelming, and it's probably my least favourite in the collection. The patchouli is not really noticeable to me in this one, and there's nothing challenging or complex about it whatsoever. For me, it's just a subtle, pleasant, clean, woody shower gel type smell that's really good, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't excite me like a couple of the other ones do in this collection. The performance is okay, but you do need to give yourself a fair few sprays for it to project and to last past the maybe 5 or 6 hour mark. It will get you noticed when you're in close proximity to other people, and I'd say it's a more intimate projection that stays quite a bit closer to the skin, making it a decent choice to wear as like a work scent or in a confined space where you don't want to annoy people. It's a decent spray and go type scent to wear as an everyday scent, and there's absolutely nothing to dislike about it. I think a lot of guys will really enjoy this one, but for me personally, I just find it just a little bit too generic. Okay, so that's about it for my little overview of the iconic collection by Rituals, and I've got to say that on the whole I'm really impressed. If you owned all 6 of these, you'd be set for the whole year and you'd be covered for every eventuality and occasion. They're really great value for money, they smell great, and they definitely look the part. Although if I was being ultra critical, I'd say that the performance left me wanting just a touch, and considering that they're all EDP concentration, I would just like them to last a little bit longer and maybe project a bit longer too. My personal top 3 would be the Bois Royal, obviously. This is an absolute beauty, and I will be making a huge dent in it over the next few weeks. And then I'd probably go for the Bleu Byzantin if you're looking for a nice spring and summer fresher. And finally, I would maybe say the Voyage d'Ombre if you want something a little bit more dark, sexy and mysterious. But if you're out shopping one day and pass a Ritual store, I would highly recommend just popping in and giving these a try out for yourself. I think most of you will be pleasantly surprised by what you discover. But that's it for today's review, and tomorrow I am going to be joined again by Carl, and we're going to be taking a look at 3 inspired by fragrances from a brand that I haven't experienced before, but after trying them out for a few weeks, I can confidently say that they are the most high quality and accurate copies that I've come across in terms of copy scents. But it's not all great news, and there is a slight downside that me and Carl strongly disagree on. So make sure to tune in tomorrow because it will be a very interesting and comical video. And as always, guys, if you have enjoyed today's episode, then don't forget to hit that like button and also maybe even help me out by subscribing to the channel and be part of our little great smelling club. So until next time, guys, thank you once again for stopping by. Keep smelling delicious, and I will see you again very soon in the next one. Bye bye for now.